Hello and welcome to part 7, and as you can see we've taken over Cameroon off camera. I'm just slowly making my way towards the Congo, Dem Republic, which they're actually taking over the Congo, which is interesting. They're sort of an expansionist power themselves and they've got problems with Angola, so it'd be good to wipe them off. They've got oil, they've got loads of resources, take them out. We're sitting pretty well, sitting pretty I should say. We've got a population of nearly 300 million. Also off camera, the Algerians have declared war, which I don't think there'd be a huge problem. They've got some pretty decent units, but it's hard for them to get to us, and it's hard for us to get to them annoyingly because they have a massive desert in the way. But as we've inherited loads of money from the Nigerians, we may build some supply depots. Our infrastructure's already on as much money as we can spend already, so there's not much we can do there. So yeah, I think I'll build a supply depot, and we can always use that as like a defence post as well. Let's have a look. Supply depot. Hopefully that won't cost too much. Actually, speaking of building, we have started to build some agricultural projects with the money we inherited from these Nigerians and all their oil money. Let's see if some of them are finishing off now. Also increasing our consumer goods construction or production capabilities, as that is a major factor in what we're losing money in. We also have 1.5 million barrels produced a day, which is very good. I'm hoping to increase that when we take over these nations here, especially Angola and this Congo here, or the land that was there, because they have lots of oil. And if we want any more oil production, we can always build some more up in this area. I believe there's room for expansion, but it's always cheaper to take stuff from people rather than build it, and faster as well. Let's close this so it gets out of the way. Let's have a quick gander at the world, just to recap. So South Korea is powerful, Vietnam's crazy powerful, and the Russians have taken over huge amounts of China. They've just got Mongolia chilling around in the middle of Russia now. Europe is relatively peaceful with itself. Let's have a look. I think France is at war with Belarus, but there's a few wars where people just can't get to each other, so it's not a big deal. What is going on here? Why do we have this? Where have we got this from? Yeah, there's a lot of units that we have that are just like naval units that are just across the oceans for no particular reason. Yeah, we've inherited these, but they can't get back home. A couple around here. A couple PT units, well, PT boats around here. Don't know how they got there. They're out of fuel. We'll bring them home one day. What is going on? Oh, we got a lot of partisan units actually, which is very annoying. Just distracts our units from the main threat. I've also started to produce huge amounts of infantry, and I've started to build some aircraft fabrications. They're really expensive, but since we bought that, what was it? Did we buy it in the end? Well, I think we have a. Do we not? I thought we had a aircraft from what we bought from the Russians. Can we not even produce that? Oh, come on. That's an outdated unit, so we might not be able to produce it. That is so annoying. But anyway, we'll have the Queen Bee, which is an interceptor unit. Ideally I wanted a fighter bomber, but for some reason if it's a very old unit you can't use it. And that costs us like $3 billion. It's annoying. The HD photos of the leaders make me laugh in this. Anyway, so I think we will, because there's no supply here, and I don't think the Congo is going to be a huge threat. We'll send most people up here to deal with these guys. It's going to be a slow process, as it's going to be very hard to get to anyone. So send half of these guys up there. You guys get up. So they've started pushing in, but they're going to have supply problems, and we have a fair few aircraft units now, which were just stolen from other people. Okay, so I'm going to come back when our units are in position. Okay, so our units have started moving up, but I find that now we have such a large air force, we can mostly deal with their tanks and other annoying units like that trying to push into us. Mostly with no supply, I might add, like this one. We can just take them out of aircraft, because we've got hordes of aircraft. And down here, I've left some units down here, and I'm trying to build up some supply. Got a supply base being built. I should probably build a road as well, actually. Yeah, that'd be useful in the future. It's going to take a long time to build though. Tell you what. Put battle zone control here. And I'll let the AI do its thing. Yeah, it's on full whack. And I've also put a battle zone up here. I just hope that the AI doesn't get too crazy about pushing in and run out of supply. Oh, like this. Come on, guys. How long till you're built? A long time. Okay, get the aircraft in. And you can still see we've got the militia, which are fairly experienced now, and they're just bopping about slowly. I've been using them to take out some of the local guerrilla forces that are resisting our all. As I would like to invest into cultural subsidies so we get less resistance from conquered nations, but we can't afford it right now because we're building our economy, so we've got to build these. And of course our aircraft fabrications are very important, because aircraft are OP in this when you swarm them together. Well, I suppose they're OP in real life actually. But we'll come back when there's another serious development. Okay, so we're slowly pushing into our enemies. They've got Algerians. They're slowly being pushed back. I think I'm going to hit them with artillery aircraft again. Get the swarm on them. Oh, was there any swarm to be had? No, there's. I think most of our aircraft are damaged actually. Oh, that's not good. Well, I'm glad they're repairing, but I wonder if we can send a cheeky light infantry round. Probably run out of supply. Oh, there's a tank coming. What tank is that? T-90. That's a decent tank. Damn. That's going to be a pretty bloody war actually. We've got some good units and we can't cut them off. This one bloody guy keeps taking the piss. He's trying to go too far into the non-supply area. Anyway, off camera, the South Africans took over Mozambique, I think it was, and they offered us peace actually, which I'm thinking about taking. What do they want? They want $500 million for peace. So I'm going to say yes to that, because I think it would be good for us to try and restore relations with the world. So the UN will be much happier if we give the appearance of trying to be peaceful. So we'll press it, and then I want to get my UN relations up so I can start buying weapons again, and maybe then the other major nations in the world will like me and we can buy some decent aircraft that we can actually use to smash everyone later in the later game. So yeah, we'll say yeah. That's successful. Brilliant. I mean, they still hate us, but we're on our way to becoming a peaceful nation. Let's look at our research. Okay, we can research a little bit more, because we've inherited, we've taken over lots of research areas. It annoys me we can't research any more aircraft, but that's mainly because we have terrible education. I should really increase the amount I spend on education, but we can't afford it right now because our economy is still a bit wank. Okay, mostly because we're building stuff, but that's nearly done. So yeah, we will come back in a bit. Okay, we're having a pretty hard time getting into the Congo. It's actually turned into a pretty brutal war. As you can see, our casualties are increasing. Ever since we took on these guys, they've got hordes of light infantry, and we lack supply. And our air force is preoccupied up in Algeria. On the brighter side, Algeria is going pretty well. They've got tons of units hidden here, but they have no supply, so we're just bombing them into nothing. So they had a whole stack here, we just bombed them and then went round them. I'm slowly building up supply depots here and there. Doing the same down south, building a road. But we're just taking huge casualties. I think I'm going to have to bring my air force down south for a bit. What is left of it, as there is... Most of them are being repaired, I believe. So everybody get down here. Whoever's left, get down. Which is about 8 units. But that's enough to make a big difference. Because they only have light infantry, same as us. I don't think it's as experienced as us, but in general it's pretty decent. And they're even pushing us back, which is very worrying. But they're fresh. They're pretty much a fresh nation. I mean, they've off camera they took out Angola, and they took out the Congo, which they were pretty much taken out last time we checked in. Also, France just randomly declared war on Switzerland, and they just smashed through. Which it looks, I like it. It's a really pretty cool shape. It's like they're sort of protruding into Germany and Italy now. Also, our economy has stabilised a bit as we finished producing a few of these, and most of our agriculture is built. Also, we have increased our consumer goods production, so we're losing less money on that. We could go further and actually keep building consumer goods because it is very favourable to sell it right now. Tell you what, we're going to do that. While we've got money, we will do that. Actually, I wonder how much our electric is. Pretty bad, yeah. Because we've increased production and everything else. But it makes sense to spam 4 of these. So I might regret that. What's it going to do? Let's have a look. Ooh. That does hurt. Alright, is there any air force down here? We need them. Whoever you can find, send them down here. The Congo doesn't seem to be sending any air force to get us, so we will hit them. And we have got constant rebellions, as you can see, but they're pretty minor. Just minor nuisances. I've also bought a supply unit off or a transport unit off the Americans. Let's have a look. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, you buy stuff, but you can't produce it for some reason. Brilliant. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's a glitch in the game or it's a mistake I'm making, but I can't produce some of the things I'm buying. Which shouldn't be so, because I did buy... What did I buy? I bought some artillery from the Russians and we could produce that fine. So I don't really know what's going on. But I'll be interested to see when we finish producing that or researching that in a few days, can we build it? Be checking on that. Oh, they've declared war on us again, you bastards. Oh. So yeah, we're doing quite well here, because we've got more supply than they do. What is that? T90, yeah. Pretty decent tanks. Okay, so tell you what, this is going to be part 7. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe and press the bell, otherwise you won't receive my notifications. And yeah, see you in part 8.